I'ma walk on the beat. I eat my plate and it make me obese. I've been pushing lyrics like a kingpin. And when today we got them.
What's up, guys?
Hello.
Time for my
Title Rising Warner hat.
Show them the back, because the back is the
show us the back.
the money.
pause. But it's not a pause if you're
No, that's fine.
Music over everything.
Hey,
Yep.
all right, title.
Shout out
Look at
Virginia
title, man.
Villains.
I like that shirt. I like the color schemes on that bad boy there.
I do too.
Yeah.
Wendy
And of
came
course,
with some goodies.
shout out to Dro, man. You know, the boy JD was a friend of mine until I called him in my car trying
I
to
need a
steal
pack,
Alpine.
man. Dro, what's up? I need
Dro,
a pack.
it's coming. I'm trying to get the whole. Are we
Don't listen to
considered a
Don't
dias?
listen to Kingpin. I'm not a
Is that
size
what this
large.
is this a dias?
Size medium. He brings my shit way too baggy. Pause.
Is this too big?
Yes.
So
Sorry.
medium.
It's
So
okay.
you're a medium guy.
Medium.
Sorry.
Okay, but you know what? Because see,
Kingpin will bring me
It's
extra
cool.
large like it's 1995. No, sir. It's not baggy. I like that shit. You know, I want to see my
I
muscles.
want you to be comfortable. I understand you got the pecs and
Just
shit. I
wash
got the
it a
man
lot.
boobs, so I can't wear nothing that's formed to fit. The nipples
Throw
be
it in the
hanging
dryer.
out. Throw it in the dryer. Then it's gonna shrink.
Baggy is
Well,
in though,
it's too
so
big
large is
for him.
cool.
Yeah.
It
No,
is?
actually,
Okay.
it looks like
For
very
the
comfortable though.
For the sweat.
Sorry.
It looks very comfortable though. It looks kind of like very Kanye-ish, like Gabbish, if you
Yeah.
will, very Yeezy-ish.
It's back in.
Yeah, I love it. No, it's a
Back
good
in.
job, and it's a title writing. It's an exclusive. Nobody really has that.
Correct.
Definitely.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
Fling.
I did want to bring something back up. I think we've been doing this podcast for a while now. I'm definitely proud of us. And do you guys remember we did an episode called Playing Music Business?
Yes.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yes.
You can never get enough of
We can never
that
get enough of
conversation.
that. Yeah.
Like dressing up and playing house, huh?
Yes. It's one of my pet peeves. I'm sorry. Were you going to say more? Because I'm
No,
about to
I
go
was,
off.
but no, go-
no,
come
go
on.
ahead.
I was gonna say, it's just it's never ending.
It's never fucking ending. Yes.
It's always new characters.
Every day.
The main characters tend to stay, but it's always gonna be new characters. But it's an influx of a lot of new characters lately.
I realized that the other day when you invited me to the listening party. I walked in there and I looked around and I was like, who the fuck are
Pineapple.
y'all?
These are
Oh,
all
I know
the,
you.
These are all the new.
Oh, I know
young-
you. Who
Those
the,
are the
who
new.
the rest of y'all?
Yeah,
Where
they're
the
pineapple.
fuck?
They're
Damn, I just
newer.
did like 3 F-bombs in the first minute of our podcast.
Yeah.
all right.
Pineapple, pineapple,
It's all right.
pineapple.
It's all right. We're gonna get our audio team to.
Yeah.
You know, I ain't gonna be able to y'all just see me talking.
Until you should put the pineapple.
Yeah, definitely
A
put a
pineapple
pineapple
should
emoji or
pop up.
something. Boop. Yeah, because I mean, and you know what? It's the revolving door we talked about. It's the low bar. Again, no disrespect to anybody that was in that room.
Cool.
I met a bunch of young, bright, talented
They were
minds
young
that day.
though. They were younger.
I met a lot of bright, young, talented minds
love
that day,
younger.
and I built relationships with some of those people. And I was just taken aback by the fact that I didn't know who some of these new players were
Yeah.
in a profession that I pride myself in knowing,
Knowing who's who.
everything
Who's
and
who.
who's
Yes.
who.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like refreshing because it's okay, hey, there's new people. But then it was also scary because it's like, who are these new people and why aren't they taking advantage of an opportunity? When I walked into a room, when I first got into this business, I made it my point to shake everybody's hand.
Me
Fact.
too.
I met
Spoke to
everybody. I got
everybody.
every business
too.
card, every phone
I
number,
still do
every
it
email
now.
I
address.
still do it now. I did it in Norfolk.
So when I
this
walk
weekend.
into a room full of music industry, and I'm nobody, I'm on the lower end of the totem pole,
Yeah,
but
don't
my
say that.
energy allows it's welcoming. You know what I'm saying? And I
Yes.
encourage that, and I want to build with people.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, I'm in the role to where I see who wants it. And the ones that approach me and want to talk and want to network, and those are the ones that I'm going to purposely go out of my way to help.
I think we have a generational problem. I think that my generation didn't embrace the new generation. So now there's like this divide between the older music industry and the newer music industry. And I think that it's up to all of us to reach out to other people and build relationships so that there isn't that great divide.
Right. I agree.
Let me politely interrupt. I would say you're half right, but because I can also say I've been a part of people who accepted me, but I've also been a part of people who did not accept me and maybe try to push me away. And that's when I'm like, fuck you, excuse me. I'm gonna take your job or move you out the way politely,
Right.
or disrespectfully. It
Right.
depends
It
on how
can
you
go
make
either
me
way.
feel.
Yeah.
But
And you
the-
should do that, by
salute
the way.
to the people who have nicely and
Graciously.
people like you who have embraced me.
Yes.
Because I think that's what people need. People
Yes,
do
and
need
people
embracing.
younger
'Cause
than
they
you.
I also need to know how to do things correctly.
Correct.
I don't want to come in the shit and then I don't know what to do and now I'm
Right.
doing things incorrectly and
Right.
I'm wasting
But
time.
this is a young person's game, right? We all knew this when we got
Correct.
into music. This is not, I'm not giving you any surprises or news.
Right.
So if you're an
which is
older
the
person,
multiple amount of people that were there. They were all young.
Yes. And if you're an older person, you have to embrace the new generation because this is their moment. And if you don't, they're not going to know how to do stuff and they're going to screw it all up. So it's better to help people and be a support system to them than to resent them and try to block them, because you are never going to win.
Right.
You are always going to get older. And you're going to be in my position one day. You're going to be in my position one day where you're older and thinking about what's next. Like, where am I going to retire? Or what's next for me? Or do I want to stay in the music industry? So you've got to help the new generation just to help them, or to even just build your own legacy.
Now,
Or die out. Fuck it.
I say one of the greatest
Seriously.
blessings that my kids have is that they have their grandmother in their life, and they have an elder. And it takes an elder to share experiences and traditions and remedies and cultural experiences and beliefs, upbringing. It takes that elder. And I didn't appreciate the fact that the access I had to the elders in the infancy of my career. And it's okay, because the later I got into it, the more I realized that had I had access to those people, I would probably be in the same position that they are now, because they weren't ready to teach or guide. I wasn't ready to be misled. I was still trying to find my way, and I was still trying to get plugged in. So I say all that to say this. If there's a young person in here that is wanting to wake up and decide they want to do this, they have access to more information today in 2023
than
I ever had at any one point in time.
Agreed.
There's no reason why anybody that's in the music business is not as versed as we are, is not as hungry for more information as we are, is not as thirsty for knowledge as we are, because as much as we are glad to read it and when it's placed in front of us, we go out and we look for it. We want to know what's hot. We want to know what's relevant. We want to know what the changes are. And I think that's the plight with the generational curse now, is that where the people, Wendy Day, that decided she wanted to sleep in a car and give up her corporate life because this is what she wanted to do. Now, the flip side of that is where, well, if she could do that, then I can do that. And I don't have to, and
you
the
don't have to.
commitment and everything else that has to come along with it. The pursuit of greatness does not stop when you achieve the first level of success.
No.
It continues beyond that, and the obstacles get greater. The hill gets, it gets more inclined, steeper. Like, it's all
But the reward gets better.
Every single time.
And the accolades get better.
Every single time.
The reward and the accolades come from the action that you put forth. You can't go and get the accolades or get the money without doing the work and building the reputation and helping someone or something get to the next level. It's not physically possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Unless you're
also,
out.
yeah. And it's also a lot of people that come and waste your time. And sorry, but it's a lot of people that waste your time. And
by a lot, he means 95%.
And I hate, that's one of my pet peeves, is wasting time.
But they don't know they're wasting your time when they come to you. They really think they're doing something, to be honest.
Correct.
They just don't realize they can't do what they think they're going to do.
Correct. I do wish it could be a little bit more self-evaluation in the beginning stages. Like, okay, look, do I really want to do this? Okay, can I really do this? Am I putting myself in the best position to win in this particular setting? Just these conversations need to happen, because I think people are just
thinking.
Critical thinking, because what they're
concept.
doing is, how much they paying? Bet.
To most people, it's everything is for sale. I was watching a show just recently, and one of the stars of the show was asking his friend, what are people? And, he was like, well, people are numbers.
Numbers.
And your boy said, if people are numbers, then I'm 100 foot tall. Everybody else is just the size of an ant. And, that there are people in the world that really believe that's really their mantra, that human beings are just numbers. It's a dollar amount. And in the music industry, you have to, if you're making the music, then it's all based off of numbers. We talked about it, right? What's music? Music is math and numbers, right? It's all numbers, and sounds are all numbers. Your team around you has to be competent enough to understand what it is that you need to do in order for you to make money. And in 2023, I don't know where to start. I'm on my own. none of those are valid excuses. Not a single, none of those are reasons. Those are excuses. And once you write down your list of reasons and you write down your list of excuses, you'll start to realize that the reasons, these are the things why you can't do what you want. These are the things that you use to justify why you don't do them. There's a major fucking difference. And we have to itemize those things. We're always talking about taking inventory. And that's one of the things that's required when taking inventory is, what do you have on your plate? What is in your closet? What is in your room? What are you trying to do? Those are all things that you have to figure out first before you can figure out how to work around them. Because you just could have this major obstacle that you placed right in the middle that you're wasting time, efficiency, you're messing up the feng shui of it, the flow of it. You know what I mean? And there is such a thing, bro, in workflow.
Yes.
If you're not able to seamlessly go from one task to a next and there's a disruption there, then you've messed up the feng shui. Once you can figure out how to make that flow, you're going to get efficient at it. And what happens when it becomes efficient is that you start to treat it like it's easy. So now these things that you've done over and over and over again that were once difficult are now second nature to you. I claim it to, me and the wife were talking about the human mind. If you walked out of your house and there was a swarm of mosquitoes and it was a torrential downpour and there was a big old puddle of mud, all at the same time, you're going to wipe your face, crouch your shoulders, and you're going to walk off. All of that is happening without you having to think about it. In fact, it was that you had to think about it in order to do it, but your mind processed it and already made those limbs and everything move. It's the same principle with this music shit. If we walk out of the house, there's a bunch of mosquitoes and it's watering and there's a fucking moat, how do we get across? You don't learn that in infancy. You have to learn how to crawl and walk, and then you learn shapes and colors and sizes and thought and reasoning, and then you're able to arrive at that as an adult. I think we have to apply that same logic to our music. It's not going to sound great to everybody the first time they hear it. It's not going to be perfect the first time we put it out. And as long as we know how to nurture it, give it what it needs, its attention, it gets bigger and bigger and better, and then it becomes its own thing. And then we're able to reap the benefits of all of that hard work. That makes sense.
And I think we also have to do enough self-analysis that if we're putting out music and the fans aren't embracing it, that maybe you shouldn't be putting out music. I get that you love it and I get that it's your art form, but if you're trying to do this for a living and you can't make money doing it, there's a problem. Put it out for the love of it, but do something else. There's a million jobs in the music industry if you want to work in music, and you can still put out your own music for the love of it.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Shout out to Pendulum Inc. Pendulum Inc. is a school for lyricists, and all of the teachers are artists themselves. And their job is teaching artists how to be artists, but they're also putting out their own music because they love putting out music. And some of them monetize it, some of them don't. It just depends on who it is. There's nothing wrong with that. You can love what you do and not have to pimp it out. You can share it with the world, but find another way to feed yourself and your family.
You don't have to make a hit record to make $1 million in the music business.
You really don't.
No. You just
really
need
don't.
fans.
Yes.
Real
Russell
fans.
does not have a hit record and he makes $100,000 a month.
Real fans.
Yes.
It's going to give you exactly
Yes.
what you need.
Yes.
It's going to change your tax bracket.
Yes.
It's going to change your living
But it
experience.
takes work, and you also have to learn who your fan base is and market to your fan base.
Market to your
and
fan
you
base.
have to promote and market yourself. You have to spend some money in order to monetize and get money.
Yes,
It's
ma'am.
just a reality.
One time for my guy Jay Wise over at the Playlist Academy, he had me come speak to some young dope artists. They performed for me. It was dope. I want to say though,
You posted it on your Instagram, didn't you?
posted it on my Instagram.
Yeah, that was a fire
pulled it up,
picture too.
Your Playlist Academy. It was about 20 artists that performed for me.
That's
Nice.
awesome.
And they literally went like it was like a
Showcase.
L.A. Reid, I'm gonna sign you and give you $1 million. They went hard
Right.
like that.
They should.
And I was very
They should go
impressed
hard
with
every
everybody.
time they perform. Every
I love
time
it.
they touch a mic, they have to be the best.
But
Playlist Academy, huh?
Playlist Academy.
I like
so
it.
I wanted to say, if you're not going hard like that, I don't want to be around you though. So like, I don't want to be around anyone who doesn't see what I see.
Ain't no half stepping.
Like half stepping, like
No
any type
pussyfooting.
of half stepping or any type of like, I'm not tripping on errors or mistakes, but consistent errors and consistent mistakes, I'm tripping on that. You know, like I'm not worried about if we may or may not fail. I'm cool with that. But if we
You want to
consistently fail,
Yeah, failure's a part of it,
we
man.
gotta,
Yeah,
we gotta,
you want to
we gotta
fail. Just
take
fail
a
faster.
couple steps back and be like, okay, what's just like we said a couple episodes ago. Hey, blue, red, Purple. Oh, you like purple? Boom.
More of that.
But if it's blue, red, purple,
Blue, red, blue, red, blue, red, blue, red. Hey man, they don't like my colors. My guy. Again,
that's when I fall back.
The analytics will tell us that though. You can start to grab the information.
But some people don't. Some people is saying, "Oh, they hating," or "Nah, it's excuses after excuses after excuses," and
those are the clowns.
But people enable the clowns.
Of course they do.
It's almost like a circus is going on, and then you be over here like you may get a call to say, "Okay, we need your assistance," and you step into it, be like, "Oh, this is a whole circus going on."
Then you get out.
We have examples of that.
Yes, we do. Listen, you get out.
You get out of it.
I will tell you this.
Because people are being enabled by mediocrity.
It's easier. Everybody isn't a star. So if everybody gets around and says, you're not a fucking star, I could do that too. It's easier to do that than to work to earn to become a star. It's easier to look at it and say, oh, Taylor Swift became a star because she's a 6 foot tall blonde lady, not because she makes music that moves the masses. It's easier to say that somebody sold their soul or somebody did this or somebody's going to get bent over a table. And it's easier to do all of those things when you don't understand how the music business works, because it's more acceptable that when the myth becomes fact, print the myth. As long as you believe the boogeyman exists, it's okay. The boogeyman will always be there. It's just like I'll be able to one day we talked about that a few episodes into it about the lottery. How many people know what they're going to do when they win the lottery?
Well, very few people take
How many of them ever
responsibility.
play the lottery?
Think about
you know
how
exactly
few
what you're going to
people-
do when you win the lottery. When's the last time you bought a lottery ticket, motherfucker?
I'm 30,
Think how
Mom.
few
I'm 39.
people
My mom hasn't hit the lottery yet.
accept responsibility. And that's really what it is. Like,
that's it.
We are very responsible people. So we take charge, we take the bad side, the good side, we take all of it because we're responsible human beings. So rather than finding excuses, we find solutions.
I'm the kind of person that if something goes wrong, I'll accept the blame for it.
Yes.
And when it goes right, I'm going to give the credit to my team.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I didn't do that.
That's
I would not have been able to do this without them. It's wrong. I fucked up.
Correct. That's leadership. That's what
leadership.
you're supposed to do. That's what you're supposed to do.
I don't.
For example,
if you're the leader, everything falls on you. The buck stops with you.
Amen.
That's it.
Because you're either a poor judge of character or
whatever it is, you did it wrong.
Right.
That's it. That's reality.
I got an artist that asked me for some advice on his social media page, and he was like, "Man, I'm shadow banned." I said, "Yeah, because you post gang culture stuff on your page. Switch your content up.
Paid for likes and got
2
the
months
bots.
later, damn, bro, you still shadow banned. Oh yeah, you still putting out the same content. You ain't changed nothing up yet, huh? Got it.
Good luck with that.
Good luck with that.
But again, but now you want me to like it.
Nobody's taking
You
accountability.
want me to like it.
Like Wendy just said, though.
Yes.
Can I tell you something? I was reading a study just recently. It says that an hour a day makes U.S. teens miserable. I want you to think about this. An hour a day of social media usage makes the average user. You know who else refers to their customer base as users? The drug industry. But we're not going to get there. They say that 1 hour a day of social media usage is detrimental to your mental health. Imagine what we're doing to a society and to our culture when we're telling people that they have to dive headfirst into mental anguish for at least an hour a day. An hour a day will ruin you. Come into the entertainment industry and you better do it for an hour a day. And you better do it with a smile. And you better not nobody see you messed up. And you can't let them see you sweat. And you got to wear your best clothes. And you got to put out the best music. And why aren't you having jewelry? And we throw all of that on top of having to make creative content. And we throw all of that on top and have to find balance for the business. And it's because of those expectations. It's because we want somebody to come in and do all of those things. We expect everybody to do those things. As a CEO, if you don't engage consistently on social media, you can't expect your artist because you don't know what it takes. So both of y'all are at a loss. If you don't know what it takes, if you've never sat in a session with an artist to record, to watch how they record, you don't know how long it takes them to record. So how can you get mad when they don't? Again, these are all things that you have to know how to do and be able to do them or have an understanding of to appreciate how they get done. Me personally, you can't tell me shit about anything that I do every day. If it's something you've never done and I do it every day, I don't care who you read it from or who you've seen it from. This is how I do it. It may be right or wrong for me, but that's my approach to it. Whatever. However y'all take it how you want to, but you ain't gonna tell me how to do shit that I do every day. No. And I take pride in that. And y'all do too. Okay. And on the flip side of that, These artists, they don't take pride in what they do every day. If they were proud of the music they make, they would stand on every single street corner and they would be proud to tell people to come listen to it. If they were proud of their social media and of being themselves, they don't tell people to come check out their social media because they're posting to be somebody they're not. I know you, bro. That's not you. You don't do that. Why are you acting like that?
Yeah.
They don't want to get uncovered, bro.
Mm.
Be yourself. It's cheaper.
G code.
Cheat code.
Cost you nothing to
yourself.
be yourself, baby.